Okay, fine. So, till now we have covered these topics, and today we will try to cover these topics: SQL view, SQL index, inner join, query, and union. So, we will try to cover all these topics today. Okay, let's start. Let's start with SQL view. Okay, what exactly this SQL view and how it will be helpful for the SQL developer? So, SQL view is nothing but it's a one virtual table which will be uh, creating one layer on the table. Okay, actually we don't have any data in the views. Whenever we execute or whenever run these queries, what happens is these SQL queries will be connecting to the respective tables and retrieve the data and displays us. So this is how it will be virtually created on top of the tables. Okay, if you see this database, we have the tables, right? At the same time, we have some views option also. It means we have some view. Whenever we create any view, it will be stored here in this folder. Whenever we are creating any table, it will be stored here. If we created any views, it will be stored here. So like this, it will be views are created. So when the exactly main purpose of this view is security. Actually, this will create a highly security to the end user. Okay. So how it will be means, let's say I will be going to take one example here and I will show you one scenario where we are going to implement. Okay. Let's say I am having one table here and let's take two tables. Some product table, some customer table. These are the two tables. Okay. Now I'm going to create one view. I mean, let's take one more thing also for a real-time scenario. I'm explaining actually product, customer, and booking. So these are the three tables actually. Okay, in these three tables, we are going to use all these three tables, and we are going to create a view. On top of this, we are going to collect the few columns from this table, few columns from this table, and few columns from this table. Okay, and we will be joining all these tables and make will form one view. Means by end user, if he look into that view, he doesn't understand what is exactly this columns is. So the table will be collect. The table will be like collection of few columns from this table, few columns from this table, and few columns from this table. Okay. So the view will be highly secure. Why? Because data will be coming from.
Sir, I'm unable to see the tables individually. You are saying that from this table, and from this table.
Yes.
The cursor was not moving in my screen.
Okay. Now,
Uh, can you move the cursor on these tables? Product, customer.
no, I'm using some pointer here. Okay, one second. Now,
Yeah, now I'm getting that.
okay. So this is product table. This is the
Okay.
customer table, and this is some booking table. Okay. So we
Some
have
booking.
one booking table.
Okay.
Okay. So in this
Okay.
table, I am going to use one view here. How I am going to use this view is I will create few columns. I will take few columns from this. I will take few columns from this. I will take few columns from this. View is generally a collection of data from the different tables. So the same thing I am applying here also. So I will take the two columns from here. I will take the two columns from here. I will take the two columns from here. So I will do some joins here. We have already seen how the joins will be implemented, right? So I will do some inner join or something, and I will join these three tables, and I will get the data. But I will use only the view. Okay. On how this will be creating one more layer, which is nothing but some view will be created here. So in this view, I am getting the data from this, I am getting the data from this, and I am getting the data from this. And it will be created one layer on top of all these three tables. Whenever I execute this query will be getting the data. Whenever I'm executing this one, it will get the data from here, it will get data from here, and it will be get the data. Means our join query will be executed. Means whenever we are calling this view, backend data will be coming from the tables only. But it will be forming one layer on the table and it's getting executed. Okay. Let's see how let's take one example, the same thing which we are discussing, product, customer,
Let's
and
give some name to this box. Let's give some name to this box, sir, so that we can understand what
yeah,
will be.
yeah, means it is a one view. Okay, I'm just explaining, right? So I will take one example also so that you can understand. Okay, so on top of these three tables, I'm creating this view. Whenever I'm executing, this data will be coming from these tables only. Okay, let's take one example, then you can easily understand. Okay, for this purpose only, I have created three tables. Okay, I'm going to execute this one. I have prepared some three tables here. Okay, the first table is product table. Means in this table I will be having all the product related information. Means what is the product ID, who is the manufacturer, what is the expiry date, is it can be sellable, what is the amount of that product. All these information available in the products table. And the second table is customer. So in this table, I am having all the customer details like what is the customer ID, what is his first name and last name, user ID, password, something. So like this, I am creating one more table that is nothing but booking. Means here the third table which we are looking is when the product was booked, on which date, how many quantities, what is the customer details. All these things will be stored here. Now I am going to create a view. Okay. So before to that, let's insert some data into this table and we'll see. Okay. I'm just going to insert few records into this. Means each table will be having some three records. I'm just going to execute this one. So tables are created and rows are inserted. Let's start with checking the data. Select star from products. Select star from customer. Select star from booking. Let's execute this one. So if you look into this, the first table is products. The products is having all the product related data, product description, manufacturing date, expiry date, is sellable, and the price. Okay, this is the information which we have stored in the products. And the customer, we have customer ID, first name and last name, and user ID, password. And booking, when it was booked, what time, how many quantities, all those related informations are available in the booking here. So if you look into this, we have created some relationship also. Why? Because when we are going to use some joins, we should be have some relationship. Okay, then only we can join and we can retrieve the data. Okay, here if you look into this, we have some customer ID here, right? And customer ID also here. Here the product ID is relation with booking. Means all are having some common columns in each table, so that then only we can do some joining, right? On select particular column from this table, on this table inner join some common columns where this column and this column should be matched. Then only what are those records are which are common, then only we can retrieve the data. So like this, these two tables also. So it has some relationship here. It has some common tables, and this in this table and in this table. Means then only we can join and retrieve the data. Okay. So now I am going to create one view. So what is that view means? I am going to create some bill. Whenever if you go to the shop, you will be seeing some bills, right? So how this bill is coming? It will be simply like some first name, last name, what is the product, booking date, price, quantity, all these details will be available, right? So how this is going to execute in our scenario is, I'm just collecting um, first name and last name from this, and the product description from this table, and data booking I'm going to use, and price and quantity I am using from these two tables, and total amount. So like this I am creating few columns which is collection of columns from the different tables. Okay, let's try to create one view here. Create view, view name, some view, and as I am going to select the columns now. What is that column name? So I will alias the three different tables here. I will call the customer as C, product as P, booking as B. Okay, so that every time I won't be writing the complete table name. Simply I will call B dot or C dot or P dot. Okay, what are the columns I required? First name I required, right? So customer dot some first name, and what are the things I needed? Customer dot last name, product P dot product dot product description, and I need some booking date also. Data P dot, I need some price here. B dot quantity. I am creating one more column here. B dot total amount payable, means which is some calculated column. So from which tables I am looking? Booking B. Okay, I am doing some inner join here. Products P. On this some common column should be there. B dot product ID equals to p dot product id. At the same time, I am joining one more table here, which is nothing but some customer. On b dot customer id. What is the customer id here? Should be matched in the c dot customer id. Okay, this is how my view is going to be built. Okay, I am going to create the view, create view name as select the column from the different tables. Okay, first name, last name, okay, and product description, data booking from the different tables. Okay, now I am going to execute this one. Means now my view is going to be create.
Actually, you are saying you are doing that. C dot means what are the columns in the C table, right?
See, if you see this one, C is customer. Means I am
Yeah.
calling the customer dot, means in the customer table I am calling the first name. In customer table I
Uh,
am calling the last name. In the product table I am calling the product description. In the
okay.
booking I am collecting the data. Means I am collecting all the columns whichever I required in my view. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So now the view is created successfully. Let's try to execute this one. Select star from bill. Okay. Now what happens is it will, whenever I am executing this query in the backend, what happens is this query will be executed on top of all these three tables, and it will retrieve the data from these tables only. It won't store any physical data in the table in the view. We cannot store any data in the view. Okay, as of now, we can store, but we have some different techniques to be do that one. Okay, but as of now, a basic view doesn't contain any data. Whenever we execute this view, it will be get the data from the different tables. Means by because we have joined the different tables. We can create the view by using the single table also. It's not compulsory to have the multiple tables. We can collect, we can create the view on the single table also. Okay, I will show you the different views. Okay, after this. Okay, now the execution is done. Let's try to execute this one. So it is saying that the conversion failed when converting the varchar value. Some varchar is not converting to the this data type. Where it is, let's look into this one. So we have the values in the first name, last name, and the password. First we will see how the table data types are created. So where we got this issue here?
Customer.
Yeah. So this value is coming from, I hope this is from username. Means it's a customer. Let's check with the customer. What are the columns and their data types? So we have the first name, last name, user ID and password. Okay, we have the varchar data type and conversion failed when converting the varchar value to data type int. So let's go to the view here. user ID, where we are using this user ID. We are not at all using any user ID, right? So why it was getting conversion failed when converting the varchar value. Yes. So it should not fail, right? So let's check our view first. So view is created successfully, and we have these columns: first name, last name, product description, data booking, price, quantity, and total amount. So which is created successfully. So when we are selecting from the bill view, it is going to first name is going from the customer, coming from the customer. This is coming from the product description, and this is coming from the data booking. And
What is that last line means B dot quantity into P dot price as total here amount T is not there, sir, here. Total amount.
no, it's nothing like that. We can do, it's an alias name we are calling, right? We can do whatever the name we require, we can create like that. Means
Okay.
I'm just multiplying this column into this column and displaying into this column actually.
Okay.
Okay. So like this we can do. So we should not get any issue. Let's check for the one more time. Product ID and product ID.
And the price you should give us a currency data type. You should, but you gave here money or common, not full, not
Yeah, but it should not be an issue actually.
for money.
Converting failed Medvacare is selecting the data type int. Let's check this one first. Now we have some data here.
Yep.
Some user ID at the rate is there, right? So
Password is not there, I think so.
I don't think so. So try to create in some other way. We have
So
some.
actually, we need to give every column in view, sir.
No, required columns only.
Okay.
Okay.
Can you just go once? I mean, can you scroll up once? Still once.
One second. I'll check this one. I'm just going to insert these values in some other database. Should not be any issue here. Now it has some data. Now I'm going to create a view on this. Is it creating any issue here? Conversion failed when converting varchar value.
Is there any data type like nvarchar? Because I saw something like nvarchar. What is that? I mean,
No, see, in the user ID, it is failing. It is trying to collect the information, but it was trying to fail actually. When we are trying
okay.
to match this one, it's not matching here. Oh, got it, got it. Now I got it. So it should be here. It should be it's mismatching actually. Actually, our query is correct. Actually, here it should be
Oh,
customer ID. Got it. That's why it was getting failed actually.
okay.
Okay, let's create the same view once again. Why? Because it's already there, right? So let's drop this one, or we can simply delete this one. Now I'm using our regular. Did you got my issue right? Here I am joining
Yeah,
the two
Yes.
tables,
understood.
but I've used the different column. That's why it's trying to match that user ID which is getting failed, which is not matching actually. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
But in our join, we have to create some common columns, right? Now it's created successfully. Let's execute the bill here. See, if you look at this view, if you really find the exact tables from which data it is coming, no, right? Why? Because it's a combination of three different tables. The first name and last name is from customer, and product and data for booking is from different. Price and quantity is from booking table, and total amount is some calculation value. If you look at this highly secured table, why? Because whenever we'll call this view in the backend, it will go and fetch the data from the three different tables, and it will display the data in the view. Okay, like this, the view is very helpful and highly secured for any point of view. Okay, coming to the normal table, the views are very fast actually. Why? Because it is in a virtually created in the database. It doesn't contain any data. Okay, if you look at the table icons and normal, so this will be like this actually. Okay, and if you go to the views, so the columns will be like this, but it is not, it won't display from which table it is coming. It will simply displays the column name. Okay, by the for the end user
Okay.
point of view, it's not easily to trace out from which column from which it is coming, from where it is coming. Okay, if you let's see the some create syntax in this. Now you can easily understand. Okay. I mean, I'm just open this script actually, okay, to see how this view was created. Then only you can understand how this view was built and from which column, from which table it is coming. But how it is secured means by the for the end user, we will just give him a simple view table. I mean, we will give the data to the end user like this. Okay. Now the end user will use this data, but actually this data is not coming from the single table. It is it is a collection of different tables. Okay. Like this, we can provide so much of security to our database. So this is what the database actually. So once our the views are created, we can insert and update until unless it has some physical appearance. Till now, what I am saying was, view is some virtual table where we can have only the skeleton, but actual data, whenever we are retrieving, this view will be collected from the backend tables which they are respectively joined or respectively created. Okay. If you want to see one table, how the views will be created, let's create one view for the particular one table only. Okay. Let's create one more view where we have only one table. Okay. Let's create view one, some customer info view. Means try to give this underscore view or view w. Why? Because it is a standard syntax or a standards which we need to follow. It's not a normal table, right? Whenever if you look into the views, we should be understand, okay, this is the view. It has given some underscore. That's why we are calling this as a view. Okay. So in this table, I am just selecting the few columns here. Cust ID, uh, first name, last name, and some user ID. From customer. Create view name as, select the particular columns. It's not mandatory. We can give the optional also. So now I have created one view on the single table only. It's not compulsory to have multiple tables. We can create on the single table also. Select a star from that view. I'm just trying to execute the data. So the same table actually. So what happens is, this view and the, let's take the same table. When I'm doing the select star from the view, what happens is, it's actually backend, it's calling the customer and it's trying to execute. Okay, if you look at this two queries, the result is almost all same. Why? Because I have just eliminated some password, that's it. So I just want to display to in the view only the customer ID, first name and last name. So whenever I am executing this query, the same set of this data only displaying from the table. Means actual data is coming from this table and it displaying on the view. It doesn't contain any physical appearance. Okay, it doesn't have any physical appearance. It's just a simply view virtually created on top of the tables. Okay. So any
From this, what do you mean to say, sir? What you are from this? I mean, from select to star customer info view and from customer.
so the data is trying, when I am executing the first query, it is coming it displaying this four records, right? So when I am trying to display in select star from the customer, it is also displaying the same. But in this display, here the displaying the data taking the reference of this table only. Means the data, actual data is this. This is the virtual data. That is what I mean to say.
And here, create view customer underscore v as
Yes.
like select customer ID, first name, last name, user ID from customer. I didn't understand that two lines.
Means I'm, see, in the previous example you have seen the bill view, right?
Yes.
So how I have built here, I have created one view. Like I have joined the three different tables and created one view on top of this, right? So the same way I have created one view by using only the single table. I am not joining any other table, just I am creating one single table.
Okay.
So on top of that I am creating the view. Means I have collecting the required column from this table. On top of that I am creating my view.
Okay.
Got it? So what I mean to
Yes.
say is views can be a combination of a tables or it can be a one table also. It's not mandatory to every time to have different tables to be joined and create a view. We can create our own view by using the one table also. Okay?
We don't have any syntax for this view, sir.
Yes, we have. I will show you this one. Create view, view name, create view, view name as select column name from table name. This is the basic syntax. If you want, we can apply some where condition which is optional. Means that depends on our requirement. Okay.
Why are you giving as there? When is it required? It's just for alias.
No. Means the view should be as it should be collecting of this information. This is the syntax actually.
Oh, that is the as is syntax, right?
Yes,
Okay.
this is a syntax. Create a view, view name as means how the view is should be like this means it should be as select this column from this table, a collection of all these columns, make it as a view. That is what the
Okay.
syntax is. So like this, the views will be useful. Okay. The next topic is, so we have discussion on this, right? Now I am going to show you index. Let's discuss on the index. So how these indexes before we jump into the directly on the indexes topics technically, I just want to explain you how this will be, what is exactly this index and how this will be useful for us, and what is a general index. You may have heard about this one, right? Indexes. So let's say if I ask you to Nitin or Thiru, if I
Yes.
have given a very big textbook to you, it's having some 1,000 pages. So in that 1,000 pages book, if I ask you to select particular topics, how will you be pick that topic from that book?
Index, right?
Yes.
Based on index.
Yes, the same concept we are implementing on the database. Means we'll be having some indexes on the last pages or first pages, right? So this topic is covered in the particular page. This topic is covered in this page. Or if you are looking some words, then this word is related to this chapter. In this line, we find these words. Like this, means you are not searching the entire book, right? We are just referring one index. In that index you are directly checking for that value and going to that page, right? The same concept as it is we are implementing in the database. Okay, I will show you the indexes how we will be. Okay, in coming to the technically in the SQL we have the two different two different types of indexes. One is called as a cluster index, another one we will call it as a non-cluster index. Okay, we have the two different concepts in the indexes. The first one is cluster index, the second one is non-cluster index. Generally, how these cluster indexes will be implemented, how this will be help us to in the query point of view. What are the importance of these indexes in the SQL? So the first one is the same thing in our real time. How we have seen is it will gives us the see, you are not going to the 1,000 pages at a time, right? We are going to the references, we are checking the particular chapter number or particular page number, and we are directly going to the that page. The same way our cluster indexes or general indexes will be help us to find the or fetch the information very fast. So it won't search for the entire records. It will be create some indexes, and it will based on that indexes it will be filter the data, and it will gives the it will display the records very fastly. So it means the main importance is rapid access information. The first importance is rapid access of information. Means it won't take that much time generally if you don't have any indexes on the table, then what the execution of that query will be taken some 1 minute. If you have indexes on the table, it will take around 10 seconds only. Why? Because it has indexes. Now the table will be created some indexes, and now the data has ready to fetch at any way. Okay, because of index we can filter the data and get the data in very fast, rapid and efficient access of information. Third one is unique uh, enforcement of uniqueness constraint. Okay, so what is these 3 points we have seen? So how this really helpful? We'll see one example. Before to this, I will just explain you a pictorial representation where we can see how the cluster index will be formed, or how it will be created, and how it will be represented. Okay, so are you able to see now? One is cluster index, another one is non-cluster index. Okay, let me show one example here. Yeah, I hope this will be very useful. Okay, so these are the indexes how it will be created. Okay, let's say I'm having some table where I'm having some 50 records. Okay, so normal table where I don't have any indexes, then how it will be stored? It will be stored some randomly or sequentially. Okay, so like this the table will be there. So all these 50 records will be stored one by one, one by one, one by one. So when I say select 50th record. So what it happens? It has to go through all these one by one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I have to fetch the last record. It means every time it has to traverse all these 49 records, and it has to display me 50th record at the last. Means every time it is unnecessarily traversing the all these records. So if I create some index, then how it will be happens is it will be stored data like this. Means the data will be first 10 records it will be creating this. The next 10 records from 11 to 20, 11 to 30, it will be stored from here. From 30 to 40, the records will be here. From 40 to 50, it will be stored in this box. Means now the data is sorted. If you look into this, the data is in a sorted order and it's split into some four layers. Okay. Now how the index will be traversed if I select something. Okay. Now I want to write some query now. So how, let's say my query is something, I'm going to write a query like this. Some select star from some customer table where the value is equal to some or cust ID. Some cust ID equals to 10. So this is my query. So without using this any index, if I say the same query, how much time it will take is, it has to traverse all the records which I have shown earlier. If I created the index, how much time it will save, I will show you here. The same query I am executed, then this index will be filtered like this. It will start from here. It will be starting from here. This is the root node we will call. This is called as a root node. This is called as an intermediate or non-leaf nodes. Okay, it will be calling as a leaf nodes. These are all leaf nodes. First leaf node, second leaf node, third leaf node, fourth leaf node. So we have 4 leaf nodes, 2 intermediate or non-leaf nodes, 1 root node. So when I created index and I am going to execute this one, how this index will be traversed is, what is my query? Select star from customer where my customer ID is some 10. So first it will come here. Okay. What is my customer ID value? It is 10. So whether this value is in this node or in this node, the value is less than, it will check which value is less than to this value. So it will check, okay, this value is less than 30. My value is, my customer ID is 10. Now I want this value record. So for this it will start it from here, whether this 10 is less than 30 or less than 50. So it will satisfying here itself. It means the entire this set it will be ignored, right? Why? Because it's already data is filtered half here itself. The value is less than this value, means no need to check these side values. It's already filtered that this value is less than 30, means it will be somewhere in the left side itself. Okay, it will come to the next level, intermediate level. Okay, this value is matching to which node, means in this set or in this set, it is matching here, means again we have ignored this set, means no need to check from 11 to 30. It's already filtered here half, and the next half will be filtered in the next intermediate level, means the value is somewhere in the first leaf node. Then it will come to this leaf node and it will traverse only 10 records. Okay, without index how much time it will save? We have ignored 40 records, right? Normally if you don't have any index, it has to traverse all the records and go to the some value, and then I have to fetch something. Now it has ignored all these values. It is going to check only 9 records. The 10th record is our required value, means this is our required record. Now this record will be displayed to the user. Like this, the indexes are very helpful for anyone. Okay, so these indexes will be created a fastness on the table. The same query, if I am having some, in this scenario I have just taken only 50 records. So in my scenario I may have the crores of data. So in that scenario, every time I cannot wait for to execute the query for hours and hours, right? So instead of that, I can simply create some indexes on the table. means it will give the fastness to the query to be executed. Unnecessary records will be filtered and the data will be displayed on the required query. Okay. So any doubts on this?
We are good.
Okay. So let's try to implement the same thing on the tables. Okay.
But it will take some time to create all these indexes, right?
It won't take that much time actually. Okay. It's a maximum. It will be half second or less than a minute. It should not take. Means we are only going to create indexes, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So the next one is, so till now we have discussed the indexes, right? So these indexes are categorized into two types. So which one? The first one is cluster index. The next one is non-cluster index. Okay. The same process means the process won't change actually. The way of traversing record by record it won't change. But there are two approaches when we are defining any indexes. First one is cluster indexes. So how it will be started is it will start from root node and then intermediate and then from actual data. So like this it will be traversed. When we are defining some non-cluster index, it will be processed till here only, but here it will be again connected to the cluster index only. Okay. So it's here the leaf nodes are again connected to the some other leaf nodes. But in our cluster index, we don't have any interaction between these leaf nodes. But in the non-cluster indexes, we have some interaction between all the leaf nodes. If the data is not found, then it will go for the another leaf node. It will go for generally it won't check for the again to the next above level. It will be checked with the next leaf nodes. Like this, the cluster index and non-cluster indexes will be fetch the data. Let's try to see an example, then we can easily understand. Okay. Now I'm going to create the cluster index. The first topic will be the cluster index. It's very simple actually. See, one more conditions are there. One table can have only one cluster index. Let me write here. One table can have, it will be interview question, note it down if you need it. How many cluster index are you able to create in the table? It will be the interview question like this. One table can have one cluster index. Okay. One table can have 999 non-cluster index. Okay. This will be definitely interview question. So cluster index, only one table can have one cluster index, 999 non-cluster indexes. Okay. So if you want to see the syntax, we can check with the syntax also. Create table on the indexes like this, or else we can directly, the simple approach is like, see, one more thing which we need to understand is whenever we are saying that primary key, we have seen in the constraints, right? Do you remember the primary key constraint? So this primary key constraint is nothing but the cluster index. Whenever we say the primary key means in the backend, it will create some cluster index. Okay. When we say the cluster index,
So is primary key itself one of the cluster index?
perfect. Yes. It won't say like that, but it will be work like a cluster index.
Okay.
Whenever we are declaring some index on the column, that column will be first, it will be sorted, physically sorted. Means I have some table on the some 1 to 10, but my records are on the in the random way. First record, then fourth record, then sixth record, then eighth record. When I say some index, cluster index is defined on the key, then the first thing what it will do is it will be sort the data. It will be in the sorted order. Then it will create the index on this table. Means physically the records will be in the sorted order. Okay. Let's take something here. See, let's create the indexes here itself. So I'm going to take some customer table here. In this we have the this many columns. Now I'm going to create the index here. I hope, see, if you look into this, I have the customer ID is as a primary key, right? So the primary key is itself created some index here, cluster index. Are you able to see this?
Yes.
As I discussed, the primary key will be act as a cluster index. I said, right? The same thing. So I have some table here, customer. In this customer ID, I have defined as a primary key. Which means its the data is sorted and it will create some cluster index. Okay. Let's take one more table where we don't have uh, indexes. Let's check this one. I hope here we don't have any index.
Cluster.
Okay, we'll try to delete and create here. Okay. So we have one table here, one person column, where I am going to create the index on the ID. Okay. Uh, 1 second. Okay. So I'm going to create the index here. Right click on the indexes tab, new index. Click on the new index. If you see cluster index and non-cluster index, we have the two things here. So which one you are going to choose? Now we are going to choose only the cluster index. So it is asking me, okay, what is the index name you want to give the here? So make it as it is, or if you want, we can give our required name. Okay. So add which column we want to create the index. So I want to create the cluster index on this column. Means ID column I want to going to create the index. Please okay. Make it as an okay. So if you see this one, the index is created. Simply index is created, cluster indexes. Okay. Cluster index is created. Let's select star from person. So how we can easy? So now I said, right, I can see some performance improve by using these indexes. So how we can see this one is, if you come to here, display the estimated execution plan. So we have to click this. Then so if you look into this, it has cluster index on the table. Okay. So what does it means is, what is this execution plan is means, see our query how it was got executed, at what level, how much time it was taken, what are the estimations, why it was taking such a long time, all these things we can be search in the execution plan. So in this execution plan we can check how our table is fetching the data, where the data is got filter, where we have where condition, where we have some clauses, where we have group by, all these things we can be check it here. So if you see here, it has a cluster index scan. So normally when we are fetching the table without a cluster index, it will take lot of time. How I am saving is, let me remove this one. I am removing the index here. So without index, I am executing the same query here. If you look at this, table scan means it is trying to scan the entire table and fetching the records. This is how the difference we can find in the with index or without index. Okay, means without index it's trying to scan the entire table to retrieve the particular record or all the records. When I say some indexes on this, means it is going to filter the data and it is sorting and it's giving the time. So normally here it is not showing the time actually. When we have some crores of data, then you can easily understand the time difference. The time will be changed here without index and with index. Okay, let's create the index once again. Now I will create the non-cluster index, and which column it is asking. I am going to add that column. Simply OK. Now the same thing I am executing here. So it has indexes. So here it is again, non-cluster index is taking the table scan only. Why? Because it has only few records. It has only 4 to 5. Unnecessarily the index is misused here. So that's why it is trying to fetch the records by the table scan itself. It's not using the index. Why? Because it has only very less records. Until unless we have the huge data, it won't try to use the indexes here. Okay.
Can we try on the adventure database? Then
Mm,
we'll maybe understand.
yeah, sure. I hope we have some other which are indexes are created, I guess. So let's take this one. Select a star from uh, dim customer. We'll see. So it has taken some zero point 0.2 milliseconds, right? So let's see. Try to create the index on this dim customer. So it has already some customers here. Indexes are created. So cluster indexes, we have non-cluster index, we have two different non-cluster indexes. So as I told you, right, only one cluster indexes can be created. Triple line non-cluster indexes can be created on one table. Okay, let's check some other table. So we have something called fact to finance. You will see how many records are. Here the table needs huge records. So it is taking some zero point 0.1 milliseconds to display some 39,000 records. Okay. So here we don't have any indexes here. Let's try to create some index on the finance key. Okay. Add this one. I'm going to create index on the finance key. and OK. Now try to execute this one. So it's taking the same time actually. So it should not take that much time. Why? Because if you find huge records, then you can easily understand actually. Okay.
Okay.
Here the data is very very less. It's only having some thousands of data actually. But what we can see is, as I told you, right, we can see it in the execution plan. So it's trying to fetch the data using the cluster index only. If you see this one, the execution plan is trying to use the cluster indexes on the table and trying to fetch the data. Okay, this is how it will be when I will show you whenever I will load the data. Some lakhs of data is there somewhere.
But I have a doubt. I mean, how is it going to make a difference on the system? Because both the ways it is displaying all the records, right? Even if you created the index or if you didn't create the index, it is displaying all the records with the same statement. So how is it? I mean, how is the time getting lowered?
Uh, See, I will show you. I think if we can apply some where class, then we can maybe easily understand some. Okay, where mm, finance finance key equals to some level. We'll apply some where class. Means one condition is there here, and we'll try to remove this index here,
Okay.
and we'll try to fetch the data. See, if you without index table scan, it is trying to using the table scan. Okay, without
Okay.
some where class it is having, but still it is trying to use the some table scan. Means it is trying to scan entire table and it's trying to fetch. Okay, and how much
Hmm.
time it is taken? It's less than a second actually. If you see this, it's less than
Yeah.
a
Okay.
second. So that's why I'm saying if we have some millions of data, then these differences you can easily understand. But the concept won't be changed. Why? Because which we have seen right earlier, the filtering of data will be like this actually. If we have some millions of records, then we can easily find out what is the differences in the time we can achieve. Okay, I will try to show you in the real time when I got some data, then I can show you. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, this is what the cluster indexes and non-cluster indexes. Okay, so simply we can create the index here, cluster indexes. Go to the index tab and just add the like this. So it is trying to fetch the data using the cluster index. So this is how we can implement the cluster indexes and non-cluster indexes. Okay, we have one more topic left, I guess. It is nothing but some inner query, subquery, or nested query. All are same only. Generally, everyone will be confused. What is this and how it will be used? Okay. So inner query or subquery or nested query is nothing but when we are trying to execute a query with again having some inner query again. Okay. Let's take one example. Then we can find the easily understand. Okay. Select star from the customers where ID in, you have customer table here. So we have the customer table. Where ID in, I am writing the another query here. Again I am select cust ID from customer, where password equal to S123. Okay, so like this, let's check the what are the problems here. Which passport problem is, it's a varchar, so we will make it as a quotes. Okay, so this is how my inner query exists. Okay, inner query or sub query or nested query means query inside the query. I am already having the first condition here, first query. This is the inner query. So how the execute SQL will be executed is, whenever I do the inner query or sub query, first it will execute the inner query. This result will be given to the parent query. This is how the inner queries and sub queries will be executed. Okay, like this we can have, how many levels we can go like this means we have around some 17 levels we can go. Means inner inside the query, again inner, and again sub query, like this we can go up to the 17 levels. Okay, it has some limitations. Subqueries into the subqueries like this we can have only up to the certain levels, 17 levels only. Okay, here the I am having only the one level, means query inside the query, subquery. How it will be executed? It will be execute the inner query first, then the result will be given to the upper query. Let's try to execute this one. What is happening is, this result is providing to the this result, means I want some customer ID, where the customer ID is, I'm giving some inner query here. How should be my first query result is, means it should be result is has to fetch the from this query. This result has to pass to this customer ID. Okay, like this we can form different conditions actually. Okay, we can check like
We
this.
can we can we can directly give it as select star from customer where
Yes, we can
password is
do.
equal to S123, right?
Perfect. That was the direct query. To show you some inner query, I have written the query like this. The same query which we can
Okay.
write directly is the same we can. But sometimes our queries needs to be sub-query, where the inner query result should be passed to the outer query. So in that scenario, I just want to show you how it will be executed. The inner query result will be passed to the outer query. And then this outer query result will be displayed here. Okay, I just want to show you the concept actually. You can try yourself with different conditions writing the inner queries. Okay,
Okay.
so in the interview generally it will be asked like this: did you tried any sub queries or inner queries? So we can say, okay, we know about this sub queries and inner query concept. So can you show me some example? Then you can write some your own queries where we have some queries. So sometimes what happens is, subqueries, by using subqueries, some update statements will be done. So updating the table name, set column name equals to new value, where I am using some condition inside my table. Like this, I used to have a different subqueries concept. Okay, we can insert the data, we can display the data, we can whatever we want. The inside query result should be passed to the outer result. Okay, this is how we can use the subqueries concept. Do you have any doubts here? The next topic is union and union all. So coming to this union and union all, we have two names union. The name itself is saying that we are union, means we are adding or we are combining something. Means what is the union all? Then union all means without looking anything we are just unioning, means we are joining. The name itself saying that union or join. The concept will be similar here, but the differences we will be find in the union and union all here. Let's take the one example, then you can easily understand. Okay, I have one table here. I have another table here. Now I want to join or union. Join or union. So what happens when I do some union? What happens when I do some union all? So when I say union, it will be act like as an inner join. We have already seen the inner join concept, right? So here the inner join concept will be comes into the picture. When I say union or then the inner join will be acts like a join union. Okay. When I say union all, it will be just union all these records. Means whether it is containing the duplicate records, all these things will be displayed in the union all. Okay. Means in union all, when we are saying this table and this table, make it as an union all, whether this record is available twice or thrice, it will be displayed again and again. When I say some union, it won't display like that. It will be act like as an inner join. Means without, it doesn't allow any duplicate values. Let's try to one example, then we can understand. Okay. Let's say select star from table 1 is there. So first see what is the data in these two tables. I guess table 1 is having no data. Then try to insert some data here. Now check the two tables now. So now the some two tables are having some records. Here it is having some 4 records, here it is having some 5 records. When I say some union and union all, so select star from table 1, simply union. Select star from table 2. See, union, do you find any duplicates here? Simply adding this table and displaying, if you see only the unique records which we seen in the inner join concept, right? Our inner join concept, what it will be, what are the unique records are available in the two records, those records will be displayed here. The same thing, union here. Let's check with union all here. If you look at the differences now, union all is having duplicate records, right? 3, 4 here is displaying. Again, it's a 3, 4 here I come to able to see. So that is how the union and union all will be useful. If you don't want to display any data, here it will be no duplicates. In this concept, we don't have any duplicates here. Here it will be allows duplicate. Okay. So this is what the concept I want to explain you.
So it will bring both the tables into one table, right? It will not show it parallelly, like connection,
No.
like we are doing in joins.
Yes, the same concept. But just sometimes our scenarios will be like this. We want to join these two tables and see the data. So in that case, it will be act like this. In this case, it will be act like this. Okay. If you want to club these two tables and we want to see the data. Okay.
Okay.
So here it will be no duplicates. Here it will be allowing the duplicates. Okay. So that is the differences between the union and union all. Okay. When we are doing this union and union all, in the both the tables it has some common column. It has the same column. Then only it can be union. Got it? This is the union and union all concept. I hope we have covered all the topics we have till now. Okay. So any doubts in this till now?
Um, I have a little doubt in the clustering techniques. When will we use the non-clustered system and the clustered system? I mean, is there a different scenario for both? And what are both useful for? What are the different uses for that one and this one?
Okay, 1 second. See, if you look into this, when you if you don't want to sort the data, if you want to directly fetch the data, then we can go for the non-cluster indexes. Okay, if you want to sort the data, means if you define any key column on the cluster index, means then the data will be first physically sorted, means it will be arranged in a ascending order, and then
Okay.
it will be filter the data and it will be segregated. If you look at this, it has some set of records in this node. It has some set of records in this node. Means the data is now filtered in a sorted order, physically arranged in a proper way, so that when we are trying to fetching the data, then the data is changed here, basing on our conditions. Means B-tree conditions you may heard in your BTech or something, binary tree concept. So check the value whether this value is less than or this value, then come to the left side. If it is value is less than this value, come to this side. So means we are going to sort the data first itself. Okay. Then the data is filtered here. Without if you don't want to filter the data, you want to see without this, means when you see very simple condition was, if we have millions of data, then the indexes are mandatory. If we have some top 10 records or top 5, only the 5 to 10 records or 1000 records is also, then the indexes won't give that much result actually. Okay, if you want to display, if you want to see the how the indexes and makes us do some performances means we have to use the, okay, if you want to use the indexes benefits means we should be have some millions of records, then we can see their benefits to SQL. Okay, this is how we can
Okay.
see the cluster indexes and non-cluster indexes. Okay. Okay, any doubts?
Okay. That's fine. Thank you.
Okay, fine.